I'm Trevin Oberly, and we're going to be doing our project on Yellowstone National Park, and we're going to start off with the ecosphere. Yellowstone spans across 3 states, and it encompasses 2.2 million acres. Um, the park contains all types of different land types. There's lakes, rivers, mountains, plains. Really home to one of the biggest varieties of animals in the United States. It is home to large herds of elk and is the only herd of bison in North America left. One thing that I found interesting about Yellowstone that's kind of a growing issue there is over the years, a lot of the animals there have become endangered. For example, the bison and the wolves. And one thing that's really been hurting them recently is in the winter they have a lot less food, so they've been going off of the park in order to forage, search for food, the kind of things, and that's when they get in trouble with other ranchers or huntsmen that are taking advantage of the situation in order to hunt them where it's considered legal. And if there aren't new regulations passed on this issue, then they're going to be free to keep poaching the animal. If new regulations are not passed soon, then the hunters and the ranchers are going to be able to continue to shoot the animals and kill them, and that's going to decrease their dwindling populations even more. They are already endangered and they're close to extinction, especially in North America.
Some problems in the atmosphere are that it's being destroyed. The CO2 levels is rising in the atmosphere, which is destroying it, and this is because fossil fuels and cars, everyone's burning fossil fuels and it's destroying the atmosphere just like the cars are, all the gas we use. So some ways we can fix this is that we can become more eco-friendly. We could drive like Priuses, we could recycle and reuse our things, we could do a lot of things like that to improve the atmosphere.
For Yellowstone's lithosphere, the majority of, Yellowstone as a whole is a supervolcano, and that is the most interesting part of their lithosphere. The park itself, majority of the park itself is the caldera of the volcano. So if the volcano decides to explode, it will cause a volcanic winter around the world, and Yellowstone would be no more. Majority of the rocks in Yellowstone are igneous rocks because of the multiple lava flows that have been there. One question that people constantly ask is if the park is actually going to explode anytime soon, and the answer is no, according to the National Park Service. And if there ever stops being earthquakes there, then we'd have to worry.
So Yellowstone actually has a very interesting hydrosphere. It actually has the largest collection of geysers in the world. Over 50% of the world's geysers are located inside the park. And it has numerous lakes, rivers, and waterfalls. And Old Faithful is one of the most well-known geysers within the park because of the fact that it consistently erupts. It's actually not the most consistent, but it's also not the biggest, but it's the biggest consistent geyser in the park. So that's part of the reason why. And so one of the things I chose to look up was, why does Old Faithful erupt every 45 to 110 minutes? And I first thought it was because the pressure buildup due to the heat of the magma in the earth. And it turns out I was partially right, but there's more to it than that. What happens is the water is heated from convection by the magma, but the water's pressure is too great for it to purely become gas and release that way, which causes the gas pocket to be formed kind of underneath it and eventually force everything out of the geyser. Yeah. And then somebody said,
Yeah.